Hey, what's up, SojuTalk Nation? We back at it again. I'm Doug, and joining me, we got Warren and Anita. You are joining us today for SojuTalk Unfiltered, where we will discuss K-pop themes from this week's podcast in the context of our own lives. This segment's probably going to be a little bit more chill than our normal content, but I think it's a good opportunity for everyone to get into the minds of the crew. All right, so this week's topic is K-pop and self-image. So one of the lead articles from this past week's podcast, episode 51, was Momo and her forehead beating an Apple press conference on Twitter.
Yes.
I still can't believe I'm saying that. You know, I thought that this would be a good starting point to talk about self-image and idols and image in general. So, as we all know, idols are under immense pressure in terms of their looks, right? Like pressure to get plastic surgery, to look a certain way from their own agencies, criticism from the media and netizens, all of that's included. I mean, we even have the term visual itself, right? Like, There's literally someone's job is to be the good-looking person. And I feel like at the end of the day with idols, we're just nitpicking the top 5% of good-looking people anyway, right? Like, and I think as a result of all this pressure, a lot of idols have self-image issues. And I think that this whole thing is kind of a reflection of Korean society as a whole. Do you guys agree with that?
Yeah, I would say.
But I wanted to open up the floor to the crew and ask you guys if you ever felt pressure to look a certain way or struggled with self-image. And just keep in mind, like, of course, we're under way less pressure than idols. But I do feel that sometimes looking at K-pop idols and the industry can negatively influence the way K-pop fans view themselves.
I think I should go first.
Okay,
I
sure.
kind of experienced Korean society firsthand. Right, because I mean, at this point, I've been, I've lived in this country, America, for like 9 years consecutively now, 11 years composite. And every time I visit Korea, because that's every 2 years or 1 year or so, and I'll go during the summer when I'm on break, and I go on the subway, and everyone's like, everyone looks good looking. And everyone's like, wow, everyone's got white skin, they dress well, their hair's on point. And I'm like, bet, there's a spider over there. Sorry, there's a spider over there.
I thought you said whenever you go to Korea and everyone's good looking, you go, hey, there's a spider over there.
No. I go on the subway, I'm like, bet, everyone's good looking. Everyone's real sexy looking. I'm like, then I look at myself and I'm like, am I that? I don't think I'm that sexy looking. I think I'm not as good as they are. And then I get pressured. Then I buy some clothes that I know I'm not going to wear in America, because if I wear it in America, then people are going to be like, why are you wearing skirts? And stuff like that. I feel like it comes down to at this point, because I visited Korea about 4 months ago. I feel like at that point I was at a much more comfortable area where I'm like, because I'm doing certain things that they do as long as I enjoy it. And that's the answer I kind of came up with.
Okay.
I'll follow trends if whatever the heck, if I like it. If I don't like it, I'm not going to do it.
Yeah.
And in that process, pressure might happen. Yeah, I might feel it. But at the same time, I don't want to give in to it. You know what I'm saying? I don't think I'm particularly skinny, but I don't think I'm morbidly obese here. You know what I'm saying? Like on multiple levels, like fashion, beauty, body weight, stuff like that.
Do you want to go, Anita, or should I go?
Well, the thing is, for me in general, I just think the experience as a consumer of Korean media and music, it kind of depends on the individual. Because, for example, I know people that are maybe in Korean society or are Korean descent, they might experience this differently. Whereas as me, someone who is not Korean or not Asian at all, maybe I didn't feel it that much because it was not in my culture per se. I wasn't watching my culture. So I don't know, for me personally, I don't think I've really felt the pressure just because I wasn't in that category. It wasn't supposed to apply to me, maybe. I don't know.
I feel that. And I do think, how do you feel though about self-image, considering I would say that females are under more pressure than males? That I think is a fair take.
Well, I mean, honestly, I feel like no matter where you go, you kind of see the same pressure on the gender, but I guess K-pop is like a more extreme example. I don't know, because I mean, for me, the most I've seen like where it gets like really, really dangerous, especially for, I feel like I've heard about it more for girl groups, but I'm sure it happens with guy groups too. But like extreme dieting, that kind of stuff, like members having to like sit out because they're not physically well to perform, and like collapsing on stage, like that kind of stuff, like that's really concerning. But I know it happens like outside of like K-pop as well. It's just a very extreme example, and it's very like you can see it a lot. Like that visual aspect is like very much emphasized for this genre.
Okay, no, that makes sense. Yeah, I do think so. The whole K-pop culture, it's clearly a reflection of Korean society, like a perfectionist society. You must be the ideal, and outward appearance is a big part of that. Well, Aaron?
Yeah, yes and no. I don't, because I feel like you've mentioned this in other episodes too. I don't think the goal is to be perfect. I think the goal is to be better than other people.
Oh, that's a good way to put it. That's a good way to
competition.
put it.
Yeah, no, there's a huge like competition mindset if you go into Korean society. Because I'll be like, yo, yeah, I go to college in America, and they'll be like, oh, you go to college in America, and either they'll like really try to like that and then get on my good side, or they're gonna be like, oh, I mean, like
my cousin goes to a better school than you, right? Like,
yeah, like my friend goes to Harvard. Like,
I know what you're saying.
What's U of M, like stuff like that. And I kind of get that, but at the same time, it's like it's too much, too far. Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, keep going, Doug.
All right. I have self-image issues. let's just what did I do this, right? Straight up. Straight up.
You loop right into it. All right.
So I'm just gonna do it, right? Just do it live. Okay, so I naturally have like a big frame. Like I have wide shoulders. I was a 9.5 pound baby. I was a big baby, right? I've been overweight my entire life, right? All 27 years. Additionally, when I was in high school, from probably age 15 to I want to say about 20, I had severe acne as well. That is so socially crippling. Like, there's times when you're like at home, especially in college, and you're like, I'd rather just not go out today because I have like terrible pimples right now. It is socially crippling. And as someone who already struggles a little bit with self-image because, number one, I'm not really happy with my weight. Even now, well, we could talk about that more. Like, if that compounds, there's certain days where I'm like, I'm not going to go to that thing because people are going to see me. They're going to see my face. They're going to see me looking overweight. I just don't want to go, right? That has literally been a thing that has happened before. I've gotten over that, at least the acne part, which is, I'm thankful. Number one, if you're struggling with acne and you have the resources to, please go see a dermatologist. It will change your life. Number one, don't just put it off and use like over-the-counter stuff that you think's gonna work. Go see a doctor. They know what's up. I had to do heavy antibiotics in order to cure my acne. Also, I think at a certain point, getting out of like puberty and all my hormones settling, once you get a little older, definitely improve things.
Right, definitely.
In terms of my weight, so I have yo-yo dieted probably since the time I was like 14. Like,
bro,
have I borderline had like eating disorders at some point? yeah, like straight up, not healthy methods. Let's be real here. I will not say that I am happy with myself right now. I'm on a diet game right now. I'm trying to do it more healthy wise because at the end of the day, diets are a lifestyle, not a thing, right? Number one. I think a huge part of it is, number one, you have to be honest with yourself, because I spent so many years of my life looking in the mirror and being like, oh, you're not that big right now, right? But at the same time, the big thing is like when you look at the same mirror every morning in your bathroom, you don't think you're that heavy, for number one. And you also have a tendency to avoid stepping on the scale because you know in the back of your head it's going to be a bad number. You ain't going to be happy about it, right? once you admit to yourself that, yeah, I'm a little heavy right now, I should lose some weight, that's step one, clearly. You have to admit to yourself when you are unhappy. I think that's the first step in loving yourself, is being honest with yourself, right? You can't be dishonest about things. That's a big thing.
Okay, I would agree with that, like being honest with yourself, but I would also emphasize like be honest with yourself and like your reasons for wanting to change your image or
That's
for
true.
any decisions
I've lost weight
you
for the
make.
wrong reasons before too.
Exactly. Like, I feel like it should be more of a I want to be healthy. Like my health is at risk right now, and I need to change that, and that is why I'm making this change. Whereas it shouldn't just be about like if it's an external reason, like I want to look like this because this is the standard, or like this is what's most popular. I find that a little bit concerning. But if it's something where it's like your health is at risk, or like maybe like self-esteem is a little low, and like it would be helpful. But saying like if it's an external reason where you're trying to be like something else, like I find that a little bit troublesome.
Okay.
That's what I would say.
I want to expand that on. I want to expand on that just a tiny bit more, because I in the long term I want to lose weight for like a little bit different reasons, and I've seen other people who want to lose weight for different reasons. I don't want to touch on like a couple reasons, right? Like me and one of my best buddies right now, we want to lose weight because we want to look good in clothes. That's
true. That's true. I feel you, fam. I feel you, fam.
I mean, then we end up with this philosophical question with, do I think something looks better in certain clothes because the fashion industry, or is it like like stuff like that? But then again, like it's I don't know, but so so the line gets a little blurry in that end. And then I had another friend. I'm not gonna name who it is, but she wanted to lose weight because she really didn't like herself when she was, when she had a kilogram more than the other day, and then I'm like, maybe you should really reconsider how you should view yourself.
It's tough though. Like you don't like. Okay.
Here's the thing. It's like if you recognize there's a problem, that's step one to solving it. But she didn't recognize. She was like, yeah.
Let's just say, as
obviously.
someone who's been plus and minus 50 from my current weight, right? That
Right.
humongous range. There's a thing where I had thought my entire life that if I lose all this weight, I would like myself more, right? I had honestly believed that most of my life. And I had used probably unhealthy methods to get down to really like skinny, right? Warren saw me. I was looking like a zombie for a while.
And you were not in great shape, even though you were skinnier.
If I was that skinny and I had actually liked myself at that weight, I probably would have maintained it better. What I'm saying here is that I had thought that if I had just lost this weight, I would be satisfied with myself as a person, right? And it was completely not the case at all. So I want to say that in terms of self-image, although, yeah, being healthier, looking better is all good things to aspire to, for sure. Improving yourself is a positive thing. You really need to be doing it for the right reasons. And I honestly think that sometimes your image of yourself, when you look in the mirror, in good times or bad, it needs to be more than just a number on the scale that's dictating your life. There has to be more to that.
Sure.
Really?
And then honestly, as BTS say, love yourself. I know that's a little cringy. I'm gonna turn it back to K-pop, but at the same time, there has to be more to loving yourself than just the number that looks up at you when you stand on the scale, for sure. Because
it's
Of course.
I am still working on it. I still have terribly low self-esteem. Warren knows this for sure. I am working on it. It is an ongoing process. It will probably be an ongoing process for most of my life. Let's be straight up here. It's a struggle. But at the same time, I think because I've been honest with myself as I've gotten older, and I've seen the mistakes I've made in the past, I'm confident in saying that I'm moving towards the right direction. And
Good.
honestly, that's all you can really ask for, because it's not like, sort of like with weight loss, you're not going to lose all the weight. You're not going to love yourself completely in one day. It's a process.
Yeah, I feel like I would also like to add that relating it back to K-pop and just mainstream media in general, I feel like it might seem like these people that are performing and that are on TV shows, like it might seem like they have a much better life or like they're much happier because they are so good looking or because the visuals are very much emphasized. But at the end of the day, I'm 100% sure they also have their own insecurities.
Definitely.
They've had to go through like years of training and coaching, and they have stylists and makeup artists that make sure they look good. It's like,
yeah,
you can't expect to be like that all the time because they're not like that all the time.
And all the Photoshop too.
You're seeing them. You're seeing them at their best. You're seeing the image that the company wants to portray to them, and at the end of the day, they're in an extreme situation. But I want to like my final like words I said of advice I would say is, you have to be happy with who you are as a person and not what other people feel about you, if that makes sense.
Yeah, it shouldn't depend on others.
You need to be happy because you're the one who sleeps in your bed every night, who walks miles in your own shoes. The other people that are in your life, although they may be important, are not the ones in your shoe. You have to do it for you, not because of anyone else at the end of the day. Oh, that's deep. Well, we got deep. You know, the thing is, it's because I'm older now that I can talk about these things. Because 5 years ago, all this stuff is so embarrassing to talk about. But you just live it. It's a struggle, though. And I'm honestly just happy that Warren and Anita are here because they know of my struggles.
You've come a long way, man. You've come a long way.
I think I've matured as a person by talking to them about it. And that might be the first step for you, is finding a friend to talk about things with, like, I don't know.
Yeah.
It's been really helpful.
Here's the thing. I want to add one more thing.
Sure.
That I wanted to say sometime in this episode, but I never found time for. They say don't judge a book by its cover. And a lot of people say, well, people are going to judge a book by its cover anyways. But nobody's going to read a boring book.
Oh, okay.
So stop. Yeah, that's true.
The cover might be good, but what really sold the book is the content. So.
Oh, I like that. That's a new way to say that.
Don't worry about the cover, man. Cover is just the cover.
Honestly, I'm kind of happy we've been doing these unfiltered things because it's like an informal therapy session for myself. Because, like, here's the thing. It's like, my parents know of my struggles. They know because they deal with it on a daily basis, seeing me, right? But sometimes talking to your peers, it helps a little bit more. Because my parents are 100% Team Doug, 100% of the time. You know what I mean? Like, I'm their child. They have to be. Well, they don't have to be, but they choose to be, and I'm thankful.
I'm not really on Team
But
Doug,
my friends, but at least Warren and Anita will be straight up with me sometimes. Be like, bro, you're literally just haven't eaten food in like 3 days. You're gonna die. Eat something, fam.
Please,
dude. Eating good food or eating unhealthy food sometimes is very like mentally.
And of
mental
course,
health, guys.
To wrap this up in K-pop, if you hear about idols all the time, and they talk about what's the most difficult thing. Almost every time, it's diet, right? That's generally their most difficult thing. Now, for a lot of us, that is probably also the most difficult thing, but you have to remember that they're in an extreme situation. And at the end of the day, you gotta be the one who loves yourself. Boom.
Good. Love yourself.
All right. So that concludes SojuTalk Unfiltered for this week. Let us know what you guys think down below. And be sure to check out our main podcast, SojuTalk Kpop Podcast, here on YouTube, iTunes, Spotify, or your favorite podcast platform. We will see you all next week. Bye.
Bye.
Shout out to Warren and Anita because they're really good friends. Bye.